How are we doing, YouTube? Raw Life back with Grand Lethal Volume 7. We are taking on the Illusory Lighthouse Mission Dungeon, Lufania Plus. Zidane saga going kind of strong. This is the 7th fight, not including Dimension's End, and I have taken him to all 7. We even got one in here without Bart's BT+. Look at that. These guys are pain in your ass. This is the Kate Sith Doom posted fight that everyone was worried about for months and months, and it's a pain in the ass. The main ghost starts untouchable. Nothing can hit him until you kill his little ads on the side. They only have like 1.8 million HP each, so they are pretty spongy. Easy to burn through those as soon as possible so you can attack the main guy. I brought Setzer, Agrias, Blue Agrias. Everyone brought Agrias. She's MVP here by far. And Zidane, of course, for his saga. The orb here is a little tricky. It's a sap orb. So you have to let him move for a big boost. I think it's like +8 if you let him move, and he's got a sap debuff on him, or he is sapped. It'll go up a lot. And a break is +1, but obviously unless you're in summon or burst phase, that's just going to keep the orb where it was. So really you got to kind of sap him or burn him down before that orb hits 0, because breaks are just delaying the inevitable. As you see there, he went up to 10 when he got his turn, which is good. We brought Gabranth Call, threw on the base call first, and we'll throw on the LD call later. This is a very tactically engaging fight, I would say. You have to let him move to sap him if you want to deal with that orb in that way, but he will resummon the ads when he moves. So the only way around that is to lock him down, and Agrias is the lockdown queen. We use a combination of Faded Molly, her upgraded Brave Plus after you use her LD, and the AA into Judgment Blade skill 2 is a Paralyze. So a little bit of debuff management here as well. You don't want her Paralyze to fall off because it is unframed, generic, and that can be a pain in the ass as well. I ran this on stream, live stream last night with Bart's Agrias and someone else. I don't even remember. But we beat it right after the stream, but I did not get Zidane through, so I had to come back to it and get Zidane through. We're coming up at a threshold, by the way. The thresholds here are 79, 59, and 39. A little bit weird, but it's helpful because, as you can see, he does get an instant turn at each of his thresholds, and so as long as you have him locked down when he comes to a threshold and the sap on him, then the orb will jump up. But you got to make sure he's locked down so that he doesn't resummon his ads. I BT finisher first here a little earlier with Zidane. I'm going to save the burst for the very end, as well as the summon phase, to try to kill him at the end when the orb is the most dangerous. The orb goes away from 79 to 59, so you get a little bit of a chance to just pound him for a little while without worrying about the orb. So that's great. We're going to be doing a lot of this, checking the debuffs, because it's, like I said, it's tactically sensitive. You've got to pay attention to what you're doing. You've got to plan your team, and you've got to execute a tactic, without fail, because they will fuck you if they revive the ads. You can still beat it. You just got to burn those ads down again, probably while dealing with the orb, and it is miserable. So in this run, we do not let him bring the ads back at all. We're throwing on Agrias Paralyze here, which is generic, so I got to be careful not to push it off for this 59% threshold. And if you pay close attention, I just pushed it off. Oh no, it's still there, but I'm about to push it off with another one of Zidane's generics. Still there. What can I do to fuck this up? Let us throw on a generic speed down, and boom. Paralyzed has now been removed. So like I said, you got to pay attention. Had to waste another one of our AAs to throw the generic Paralyzed back on for this 59% threshold. Worked wonders, and he's back with his orb now. So he's at 10. We still have Summon, Burst, and Friend. And he will get a turn at 29%. And I just threw on that Gabranth LD call to put the orb or put the sap back on him to deal with the orb when he does get another chance to move. He will automatically move at 29%, as I said. Here, I believe I took a phone call from work, and so I was just sitting here for a while, so we can just talk about Lufania Plus, because I'm not going to edit this out, because we're doing it live, baby. This is the real raw life. These fights have been tough. Dragging Zidane through them has been very, very, very tough. I'm lucky to have a really strong roster already. So overall, I've been able to beat most of these fights with a strong team fairly easily. And then the real tricky part has been getting Zidane through this, especially this cycle. Vayne cycle is a bit punishing for Zidane for multiple reasons, but we're making him work. And this was a fun run. We bring in COD here to do her burst finisher, and then get Setzer's LD buff on her, because now her follow-ups are going to be hitting much harder. Agrias is hitting hard as shit too on her LDs, and then you're getting big follow-ups. Cloud of Darkness can keep the orb where it is on her turns, which is nice. She can't increase it, which is a pain. But right now we're at 48% with 4 ticks on the orb. We got Faded Molly back on the boss, and we're trying to just get him down to 29%, to 39%. Sorry, so he will move and push his orb back up. COD doing heavy damage with Setzer and Agrias in the party, very nice. Pushes him to 39%. So now we're at 39% with 8 ticks on the orb, 36%. And so we are in a really good position, because as you can see, Cloud of Darkness can keep the orb solid for her last turn, but we have Burst and Summon phase left to deal with, or left to use. So we're actually in a very good position now. Zidane comes back in. He's still got his Burst phase. I didn't want to use it here. I wanted to try to get fixed dice on him before I used it. Checking the debuffs on this guy again, seeing how I'm going to inflict the most damage possible, really. In these last couple turns, you see the orb is all the way down to 4 now. And we're going to let him move to take his orb back up. Faded Molly keeps him locked down. And now we're in the home stretch. So he's not going to move again. 8 ticks on the orb, 26% health. We got a burst phase and a summon, and that will wrap up this fight with a nice little bow. It's a tough fight. All these fights are tough. I think people Doom posted these from the JP side for months, so people were really worried about them. Vayne cycle specifically, Quistis event, Kate Sith event, as we are running through that now. The game's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to not be easy. Every single fight being totally easy is a pain. Garbage time sucks. So I'm enjoying this. I think it's a good middle ground between difficulty. I do wish it was a little bit more roster answers to some of the mechanics that they're looking for. Agrias and Shantoto are really, really big here because they can keep the guy locked down. But just like on Quistis event, where it's pretty much Quistis and COD, they're doing a cool thing by bringing in a mechanic, or making you think tactically about what you're going to do. Unfortunately, they are just making it a little bit too exclusive on who can meet those requirements. So that's my 2 cents. If you want to hear more, join us on the Lifestream every Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are just about out of here. I'm going to get this guy down to 1 orb tick. before I summon. In the summon, I'll be able to re-break him with Zidane a couple times, and so that'll boost the orb up in case we can't finish him. Zidane isn't bad here. You know, you want to let him take turns, the enemy take turns sometimes, so that can be a little tricky balancing act, but he does have the re-breaks, and the re-breaks are really important. So this guy finished off by Setzer, or not quite. I don't know what happened there. Zidane gets the final shot. So appreciate it. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all that crap. Check me out on the live stream with Blart and Zoey on Mondays. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time.